Muhammad's treatment of his wife, Sauda.
You really want me to get depressed tonight, I see.
Now, Sam, Sauda's one of Muhammad's wives, and he's supposed to treat all his wives fairly, right?
Precisely. That's
so
mandatory.
We're going to see some amazing treatment of this woman. What do the sources say, Sam?
Well, let me actually give you the Quran verse that was, quote-unquote, sent down or revealed in connection with Sauda bint Zam'ah and how Muhammad treated her. Sauda bint Zam'ah, according to some traditions, she was actually the first wife that Muhammad married after Khadija bint Khuwaylid died. Because as long as Muhammad was married to Khadija, he was monogamous. Because she was his boss for all intents and purposes, and she had the money, and he was her employer, and then they eventually got married. Tradition says he was 25 when he married her, and she was 40. And as long as he was married to her, he was monogamous. When she died, tradition says that Sauda is actually the first woman that he married, followed up by Aisha. These were the two women, the first two women that Muhammad married after Khadija died, and eventually Muhammad had about 11 wives before he died. Now, according to chapter 4, verse 128, women are given the following advice if they fear, right, that their husbands will desert them. This is the advice given to women who fear desertion on the part of their husbands, that their husbands will desert them, abandon them. Chapter 4, verse 128. And if a woman fears ill usage or desertion on the part of her husband, there is no blame on them if they effect a reconciliation between them. And reconciliation is better. There's no blame if they try to reconcile the situation so the husband doesn't abandon the wife. And avarice has been made to be present in the people's minds. And if you do good to others and guard against evil, then surely Allah is aware of what you do. What people do not realize is that this passage was composed in reference to Sauda bint Zam'ah, who feared that Muhammad was going to divorce her because she was old and no longer attractive. And another hadith says she was actually fat. And I'm not making fun of her. I'm the last person to be making fun of fat people, right?
This is actually, Aisha said she was
This is in the hadith,
woman.
and I'm going to read it. But let me read to you Tafsir Ibn Kathir. Now, who's Tafsir Ibn Kathir? Or this Tafsir is written by who? Ibn Kathir. And you can read this online by going to www.Q, the word tafsir, Qtafsir, TAFSIR.com. See what Ibn Kathir says about chapter 4, verse 128. Let me read this. Making peace is better than separation. An example of such peace can be felt in the story of Sauda bint Zam'ah, who when she became aged, the Prophet wanted to divorce her, but she made peace with him by offering the night he used to spend with her to Aisha so that he would keep her. Did you see what happened here? Muhammad wanted to divorce her because she became old, she became aged. She made a deal with Muhammad, look, don't divorce me, keep me as your wife, but you don't have to visit me on the day of visitation, because according to tradition, Muhammad assigned a specific day to each one of his 11 wives. Later on, there were 9 because 2 had died. And so she said, look, let's say Thursday was her day. You don't need to visit me anymore on Thursday. You can visit Aisha, your favorite wife, on that day. So now Aisha has now 2 days assigned to her. The day that was originally hers, and now Sauda's day has been transferred over to Aisha. Now remember, if Muhammad is a prophet of mercy, what would we expect Muhammad to do? No, Sauda, don't worry about it. I'm going to continue to visit you. I'm not going to divorce you. After all, I love you. You are my wife. He goes, okay, I accept your deal. I'll keep you as my wife, but I won't visit you anymore. I'm going to visit Aisha instead. Let me read the rest of it. Abu Dawood al-Talisi recorded that Ibn Abbas said, Sauda feared that the Messenger of Allah might divorce her, and she said, O Messenger of Allah, do not divorce me. Give my day to Aisha. And he did. The 2 Sahihs, Bukhari and Muslim, recorded from Aisha, who said, this is now Aisha saying this, that when Sauda bint Zam'ah became old, she forfeited her day to Aisha, and the Prophet used to spend Sauda's night with Aisha. Making peace is better. It refers to the wife relinquishing some of her marital rights and its acceptance of the offer. So Sauda relinquished some of her marital rights, rights that belonged to her, so that Muhammad would keep her, Muhammad wouldn't divorce her. Now remember, we are told that Muhammad is a prophet of mercy to all creatures. Was this merciful? Did Muhammad actually show mercy to this aged wife, a woman who was old, whom he wanted to divorce because she was no longer attractive? And the hadith says, Sahih Bukhari, volume 6, Sahih Bukhari, Volume 6, Book 60, number 318, narrated Aisha, Sauda went out to answer the call of nature. After it was made obligatory to observe the veil, she was a fat, huge lady. Did you catch it? Bukhari, Volume 6, Book 60, number 318. She was a fat, huge lady. She had become aged, and Muhammad wanted to divorce her. Is that merciful?
No. If you think about the repercussions of this, the message for both men and women here is, if you marry someone, you've spent years married to a woman, and she's eventually no longer attracted to you, you've got some younger, more attractive wives, you can toss her aside. But if she comes to you and makes a deal with you, please don't toss me aside. I'm not attractive enough to go out and get another husband. I will relinquish some of my rights as a wife. You don't have to treat me fairly. You don't have to treat me equally. Just keep giving me some food, and you can give whatever I would have gotten as far as treatment. You could give that to wives that you like better. And the Quran says, take the deal. What a great arrangement, right? Yeah. So I mean, what kind of security do you have if your husband actually takes the Quran seriously? As soon as you get older and unattractive, he can kick you to the curb unless you are willing to relinquish some of your rights as a wife. Lovely teaching we have here in the Muslim sources.